Now, those are all the positive ones. Why do I think this tremendous increase and this tremendous momentum, how can we make it even stronger? I think a number of these issues go back to the perception of stability or instability. There was the threat of violence and terrorism. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia waged a tremendous battle against terrorists beginning after 9/11, and in particular after the Riyadh bombings in 2003. We have the terrorists on the run. Our security forces are succeeding. They're also succeeding in combating the mindset, and I think that will also help reassure foreign investors even more. Simple things like travel advisories that portray Saudi Arabia as a very unstable country or a potentially dangerous country have the effect of turning off some potential foreign investors. I don't say this to be critical of the U.S. Because it is entirely the U.S. prerogative to determine how it assesses stability or how it assesses security in a particular country, and that's not an area that we are in any position to criticize the U.S. for, just like we will not accept criticism from others about what we do in order to protect the security of our citizens. But I think that's one part of it. The visa situation we've resolved thanks to the hard work of officials in both governments, and here I would like to thank Ambassador Ford Fraker, and before him Ambassadors Oberwetter and Jordan, for working on reaching agreement on 5-year multiple entry visas for citizens of our two countries, whether the Americans go to Saudi Arabia or Saudis come to the U.S. That also has made doing business easier. But I go back to, can it be made better? Can we have more investment? Probably. I think a lot of it is now related to psychology and perception rather than laws, rules, regulations, and realities.
I think that's true, and I think a lot of what you said, though, is still a fairly well-kept secret in the United States. So maybe, Ambassador Smith, I mean, what can we do here? I think a lot of this issue is in the United States. What can we do here to improve the situation? Because there aren't very many politicians that are willing to stand up and talk in public about Saudi Arabia and all the positives, U.S. politicians.
Well, my message was we need to move beyond a bunker mentality, and that goes to business. I don't have to tell anybody that's on this list behind me about the importance of doing business in Saudi Arabia. You've been doing it for a long, long time, and most of you didn't come home 8 years ago. I saw a number 2 days ago that quoted $18.75 billion is the amount of revenue that could be coming to the United States if, in fact, American businessmen were engaged. But it's finding its way east. We're not there. We're on the sidelines. Not this group, but medium, small businessmen on the sideline, kind of waiting to see what's going to happen in Saudi Arabia. Well, it is happening. It is happening. A sound economy. Best thing I think that happened to them is G20 and everything that they had to go through to transform an economy for inclusion into the G20. And now we're going through, and even the harshest critics say they're doing a marvelous job of getting their arms around IP. And with CAS, they're going to be developing their own intellectual property. It then feeds itself. It's a positive thing. But it's an American business and industry that can bring the kinds of training and education that they desperately need to mature an entrepreneurial class to be able to grow this non-energy economy that they need for balance. It's all about jobs, and it's a global economy, and think about a job here and a job there. This is not rocket science. And you got an amazing number of very successful business women who are succeeding beyond description. Now, how do you go in and tap that individual, connect them with the global economy, celebrate that success? These are the sorts of things that we need to do to help both us and the Saudis in their modernization. We need to get off the sidelines.
You mentioned Saudi women. What the percentage of Saudi women in universities in Saudi Arabia is?
55% of the college graduates last year were women. There are 21,000 Saudi students in the United States today. A quarter of them are women. Women are making A's, and the guys are making C's.
Objection. I have to stand up for the Saudi guys. I think of the 500 Saudi students we have in the United States, approximately a quarter are women. All of them, both men and women, are doing a tremendous job. They're focusing on the sciences, on technology, in ways that my generation didn't. But I think I'm very, very proud of each and every single one of them, and I wish all of them success.
Well, I think we're going to end on that. I think it's up to us to get the word out and talk about this relationship and talk about what's positive as opposed to what's negative. So I think you've heard a lot of positives today, and I appreciate your attention, and I'll turn it back to the great Dr. John Duke Anthony. Thank you.
Join me, please, in thanking the chairman, all of the ambassadors, the incumbents as well as the formers.